Jonah was a prophet chosen by God. One day, God gave him a clear command: go to the great city of Nineveh and deliver a message. The people there were living in a way that was harmful and destructive, and God wanted them to change. But Jonah did not want to go. Nineveh was known as a difficult and dangerous place, and Jonah feared what might happen to him there. Instead of obeying, he made a decision. He would run away. Jonah went down to the port city and boarded a ship heading in the opposite direction of Nineveh. It seemed like a clever escape. He believed he could avoid his responsibility by simply traveling far enough away. But life does not always allow us to escape the tasks we are meant to face. As the ship sailed across the sea, the weather suddenly changed.
Secure the cargo
Dark
or we
clouds
sink!
gathered, and a violent
It is
storm
too
began
heavy
to
for
shake the
us!
waters.
Push it
The waves
overboard
grew
now!
higher and stronger, crashing against the ship with terrifying force. The sailors were terrified. They had experienced storms before, but this one felt different. It was as if the sea itself was reacting with intention. In fear, the sailors cried out to their gods and tried everything they could to save the ship. They threw cargo into the sea to lighten the load, hoping it would help them survive. But nothing worked. Meanwhile, Jonah had gone below deck and was sleeping, unaware of the panic above him. The ship's captain found Jonah and woke him up. "How can you sleep at a time like this?" he asked. "Call on your God. Maybe he will save us." The sailors then made a decision. They cast lots to find out who might be responsible for the storm. The lot fell on Jonah. When they questioned him, Jonah knew he could no longer hide the truth. He told them that he was running away from God. The sailors were shocked. They asked him what they should do to stop the storm. Jonah told them the only way was to throw him into the sea. At first, they refused. They did not want to take his life. But the storm grew worse, and they realized there
We
was no other
beseech thee,
option.
O Lord!
Finally, with heavy hearts, they threw Jonah into the raging waters. The moment Jonah hit the water, the sea began to calm. The storm stopped. The sailors were amazed and filled with fear and respect for the power behind all of this. But Jonah's story did not end there. As he sank into the deep water, something extraordinary happened. A large fish, described in the story as a great sea creature, swallowed Jonah whole. Instead of dying, Jonah found himself alive inside the belly of the fish. Imagine the darkness, the silence, and the isolation. There was no escape, no direction, and no help from anyone. In that moment, Jonah realized something important. He could not run from God, and he could not escape his purpose. Inside the fish, Jonah prayed. For the first time, he fully acknowledged his mistake. He admitted that he had tried to run away and that he had been wrong to ignore God's command. He asked for mercy and deliverance, promising to follow God's direction. For 3 days and 3 nights, Jonah remained inside the fish. During this time, he reflected deeply on his life, his decisions, and the path he had chosen. It was a time of correction, reflection, and transformation. Then, something remarkable happened. The fish came to the shore and released Jonah onto dry land. He was given a second chance. This time, Jonah did not run away. God spoke to him again and repeated the mission: go to Nineveh and deliver the message. This time, Jonah obeyed. He traveled to the city and began to speak to the people, warning them that their actions would lead to destruction if they did not change. Something unexpected happened. The people of Nineveh listened. From the greatest to the smallest, they began to change their behavior. They turned away from harmful actions and sought a better path. Even the king responded with humility and encouraged the entire city to repent. Because of this change, the city was spared. Jonah's mission was successful, but his journey was not just about delivering a message. It was about learning something deeper. Jonah had learned that running away does not solve problems. It only delays what must eventually be faced. He learned that fear can lead people away from their purpose, but correction and second chances are always possible. He also learned that obedience can lead to unexpected outcomes, even in places where hope seems lost. This story is not just about a man and a fish. It is about human nature. It is about how people resist difficult tasks, how they make mistakes, and how they are given opportunities to change. In life today, many people experience their own Jonah moments. Times when they avoid responsibility, ignore warnings, or try to escape difficult decisions. But like Jonah, they often discover that growth comes not from running away, but from facing what is in front of them. The story also teaches something powerful about second chances. Jonah was not abandoned after his mistake. He was given an opportunity to start again. This shows that failure is not always the end. Sometimes it is a turning point. In conclusion, the story of Jonah and the whale is a reminder that purpose cannot be avoided forever. It will eventually find its way back to us. And when it does, we are given a choice: to run again or to obey and grow. Jonah chose to obey, and through that choice, not only was he changed, but an entire city was transformed. And that is what makes this story timeless. After Jonah delivered God's message to Nineveh and saw the people change, something unexpected happened inside him. Instead of feeling only joy, Jonah also felt frustration. He could not understand why God showed mercy to a city he believed deserved punishment. He went outside the city and sat alone, thinking deeply about everything that had happened. Jonah struggled with his emotions. He had obeyed, but his heart was not fully at peace. This moment reveals something very important. Sometimes people can do the right action, but still need to change their inner attitude. As Jonah sat in the heat, God provided a plant to give him shade. Jonah was thankful for the plant and rested under it. But the next day, the plant withered and died. Jonah became upset again, feeling uncomfortable and frustrated. Then came a powerful lesson. God used this moment to teach Jonah about compassion. If Jonah could care so much about a simple plant that he did not create or work for, how much more should God care for an entire city full of people? This question changed the meaning of the entire story. It was no longer just about obedience. It was also about mercy, forgiveness, and understanding God's compassion for all people. Jonah's journey shows that spiritual growth is not only about actions, but also about the heart. A person can follow instructions, but still need to learn love, patience, and understanding. In the end, Jonah's story reminds us that God's mercy is greater than human judgment, and his purpose often goes beyond what we can immediately understand. The story closes with a question left for every listener. Will we only obey with our actions, or will we also learn to understand with our hearts? And that is where the story of Jonah becomes not just history, but a reflection of our own lives today.